This happened on June 10, 2000, when London's famous Millennium Bridge was opened to the public for the first time after its construction was completed. For the past 2 years, people had been eagerly awaiting the completion of this iconic bridge. So, when it opened, everyone wanted to use it on the very first day. This bridge was meant solely for pedestrians to cross the River Thames in London. But as soon as people started walking on it, the Millennium Bridge began to sway violently. Seeing this, the authorities sprang into action. For the first 2 days, police tried to stop crowds from gathering on the bridge, but then after 2 days, it was shut down for the next 2 years. After this incident, this famous bridge became the center of global attention. All the engineers who had built it sat down together, trying to understand how such a strong bridge could move just from people walking on it. The reason was something they hadn't anticipated. It was a phenomenon that dared to challenge some of the big mysteries of physics. Welcome back to video, dear viewers. Let's go back about 192 years, to 1831, when some British Army soldiers were marching across the Broughton Suspension Bridge in northern England. Due to the synchronization of their steps, the bridge collapsed. In this accident, 7 soldiers fell into the river, and many were injured. Fortunately, no lives were lost. From that day onward, the British Army instructed its soldiers never to march in step across any bridge. This practice became common not only in the British Army but in military forces around the world, and in some places, it is still followed today. That was the military, whose synchronized steps brought down a bridge. But if you look at the footage of the Millennium Bridge, you'll notice something strange. The people walking there weren't soldiers, yet their steps were so synchronized. And why couldn't this modern 21st century bridge handle their synchronization? The answer lies in an experiment conducted 350 years ago. In 1665, a renowned Dutch physicist, Christiaan Huygens, created the world's first pendulum clock. His goal was to help sailors determine their precise location at sea. At that time, sailors used the position of the stars to estimate their location, which only helped determine latitude, north-south. But if accurate time could be known, longitude, east-west, could also be calculated. Huygens' pendulum clock would lose only 15 seconds a day. At home, he hung 2 clocks on a wooden frame and started them one after the other. After a while, he noticed that the pendulums of both clocks naturally synchronized. When one swung left, the other swung right. Huygens placed a cardboard between them, but within a few minutes, they synchronized again. He then hung them from separate chairs, and only then did they become unsynchronized. This showed that as long as they were connected to the same frame, an invisible connection formed between them. In a similar experiment, 32 metronomes were placed on a table and started at different times. Within 2 minutes, they all synchronized themselves, even though there was no obvious connection between them. This hidden link of synchronization isn't limited to non-living things. Fireflies, when in a swarm, blink their lights in unison. But this only happens when one firefly is close enough to see the other's light. Similarly, humans also synchronize in many situations. For example, in one video, viewers were clapping during a performance. Initially, everyone clapped randomly, but after a short while, everyone's claps became synchronized. No one told them to do this, it happened naturally. This phenomenon affects our bodies too, like our heartbeat. If we run fast, our heart immediately synchronizes to beat faster. But if this synchronization goes wrong, it leads to arrhythmia, a condition in which the heart beats either too fast or too slow, which can even be life-threatening. So, too little synchronization is harmful, but too much can also cause problems. Now, keeping all these examples in mind, let's return to the Millennium Bridge. What happened was that when hundreds of people started walking on it together, their steps naturally synchronized with each other. The bridge's design included side cables that provided lateral support, not support from above. In civil and structural engineering, there's a principle that a footbridge's resonance frequency should be different from the frequency of human footsteps. But the Millennium Bridge's frequency coincidentally matched human walking frequency, causing the bridge to start swaying. To maintain balance, people started walking closer to the sides, which amplified the swaying, and the bridge began moving like a swing. Once the problem was understood, engineers installed 89 shock absorbers on the bridge, 37 to dissipate energy and 52 to control vertical movement. In February 2002, the bridge was tested again. The company invited more than 2,000 people to walk across it. This was considered the world's largest bridge test. And, as predicted, the bridge's movement significantly decreased. Even today, predicting synchronization, or understanding the invisible connection between two or more entities, is a challenging task. This natural phenomenon is also seen in birds flying together, or when bees flap their wings in unison when they sense danger, as seen in one video. Thank you for your love-filled comments and shares. See you in the next exciting video.